There is a place that doesn't appear on any map, a place that belongs to no one and yet feels like it remembers everyone. It floats softly between waking and dreaming, gliding in slow circles over an ocean that never stays the same color for long. Some say it appears only when the wind is hushed and your thoughts begin to blur, when your body grows heavy with sleep and your mind becomes a quiet shoreline, ready to be kissed by waves of rest. This island waits there, just beyond the last blink of the day. It doesn't drift fast, not at all, but calmly, like a leaf turning in still air. From a distance, it's hard to say what it is. A shimmer, perhaps, or a mirage. But as you draw closer, lulled by a pull you don't fully understand, shapes begin to form, gentle slopes covered in glowing moss, lantern-lit trees with wide silver leaves, and floating petals in the air that never fall to the ground. The scent of jasmine and warm rain clings to the breeze, familiar and new at once, like a memory you've never lived. When you arrive, the island greets you not with words, but with warmth. The soft crunch of gravel beneath your feet sounds like a lullaby. The air is neither warm nor cool, but something in between, the perfect in between, the place where no edges exist. Even your name seems to loosen and drift, becoming softer, less important. You are simply a presence here. Welcome and weightless. The path curves ahead in a gentle spiral, inviting you to walk slowly, with no goal except to be. Around you, the trees glow faintly, their branches swaying though there is no wind. Some of them hum, low and steady, like a distant lullaby from the heart of the earth. Others bear blossoms that seem to shimmer with sound, and when one petal drifts down, it leaves behind a note so soft it barely exists. You do not need to speak. Everything around you already understands. Further along the path, you pass a pool of water so still and deep it reflects not your face, but your dreams. You pause there, drawn by the quiet. The water shifts, not rippling, not disturbed, just shifting, as if it knows you're there. Shapes form in its depths. A cottage with candles in the windows. A swing tied to an old tree. A room filled with laughter and golden afternoon light. They are pieces of something or many things, but you do not need to make sense of them. The island offers them like soft hands placing feathers in your lap. You continue walking. The path narrows, now lined with glowing stones that pulse in rhythm with your breath. You begin to notice how your thoughts have slowed, how your footsteps feel lighter. The island is carrying you gently, not just through its strange and peaceful lands, but inward, toward a stillness you may have forgotten. At the next bend, a breeze brushes past you, bringing with it a melody. Not from an instrument or a voice, but from the very air, as if the sky itself were singing. You close your eyes, and for a moment, you feel as though you are floating too, not walking, not thinking, just drifting like the petals above. You open your eyes and see a meadow stretched out before you, dappled with soft golden light that seems to come from no sun at all. The flowers here sway even when nothing touches them, and each one sings its own quiet tune. You step into the meadow, the grasses brushing your skin like a sigh, and the scent of chamomile and distant thunderstorms wraps around you like a comforting shawl. You wander through the meadow slowly, the way a feather drifts on still air. Each step seems to deepen the quiet, not in absence, but in fullness, a quiet that hums softly beneath everything, like the steady rhythm of a heart that's never known hurry. The grasses here are not just green, but many shades of dream. Silvery lavender, dusky blue, moonlight gold. Some reach your waist, others curl close to the ground, and all of them part gently before you, as if recognizing something in you they've met before. Somewhere nearby, a brook laughs, not in a way that demands attention, but in a way that soothes. You turn toward the sound, drawn not by need, but by curiosity that feels soft and wide. The brook runs through a low dip in the meadow, its water clear as melted glass and cool as early morning. Smooth stones line its banks, each one different colors you don't have words for, shapes that seem to shift the longer you look. You kneel beside it, fingers brushing the surface. It feels like the first moment of waking from a good dream, cool, familiar, gently strange. The ripples you make ring outward and then slow until the water is still again. A flower floats by, shaped like a sleeping eye, and as it drifts away, it leaves behind a faint trace of scent. Lavender and vanilla and something else, something like peace made into perfume. On the far side of the brook stands an archway made of woven vines and branches. It wasn't there before, or perhaps it was, simply waiting for the moment you would see it. Tiny lights flicker in the woven frame, like stars caught in ivy. As you step through, the air thickens slightly, not with weight, but with meaning. A new part of the island, perhaps, or a new layer of the same dream. Beyond the arch lies a glade where trees grow in a perfect circle, their trunks silvery white, and their leaves shaped like teardrops, gently glowing. In the center, a pool shimmers, not water this time, but something deeper. It reflects not the sky, but the feeling of stillness itself, as if peace had taken liquid form and settled here untouched. Around the edge of the pool are cushions of moss, impossibly soft, warm without sun. You sit, and the moss yields slightly beneath you, holding you like a memory you'd forgotten was yours. Across the pool, a shape forms, not solid, not exactly, but present. It looks like you, but lighter, quieter, as if you were made entirely of moonlight. It tilts its head gently, as though asking nothing but being everything. The image fades, and you close your eyes. In the silence that follows, you hear your own breath. Not the sound of lungs or air, but the sound of being. The soft, steady hum of existing in a place that expects nothing of you. The trees murmur above you, and the pool glows faintly brighter. A lull drapes over you like a silken shawl, and you feel yourself sink not into sleep, but into rest that goes deeper. Time does not move here. Or perhaps it does, but in spirals, in waves, in the quiet curve of a tide that has never needed to crash. You lie back into the moss, the stars above you blinking softly, though no sky shows. You are both cradled and carried, part of this drifting island and also entirely your own. Somewhere far away, a bell chimes. Not loud, not urgent. Just a single, soft note, like a thought brushing against your shoulder. The bell rings again, then fades, as if inviting you deeper into whatever dream is blooming now behind your eyelids. When you rise, you do so slowly, as if the moss beneath you were part of your skin and your body had forgotten the need for motion. The trees around the glade seem to lean slightly inward now, forming a loose circle of quiet attention. A breeze moves through their glowing leaves, not shaking them, but making them shimmer gently, like candlelight in a room where someone has just smiled. As you step away from the pool, the archway behind you closes not with sound or movement, but with feeling, as though a page had been turned gently in a book that still waits to be read. The path ahead is different now, narrower, softer, woven with flower petals and strands of mist. You do not question where it leads. You are following not direction, but invitation. Soon, the trees thin and you emerge onto a high, quiet ridge. Below you, the island stretches out in slow undulations of dreamlike geography. Rolling hills that glow from within, forests lit by floating lanterns, winding paths that bend like thoughts, and distant shapes that may be gardens, or towns, or something else entirely. The sky above holds no sun, no moon, only a pale pearlescent glow that hums with the rhythm of deep breathing. The air here carries a hush, the kind found in libraries just before the first word is spoken. You follow the ridge until it narrows to a smooth stone bridge, arching gracefully over a chasm filled not with darkness, but with swirling light, mist and stars, tangled and turning in slow spirals far below. As you cross, each step seems to echo a memory, soft but clear, laughter in a warm room, hands wrapped around a mug, the feeling of being understood without having to speak. At the far end of the bridge stands a structure, part temple, part treehouse, part cloud. It rests in the crook of two ancient trees whose roots wrap around it like a lullaby. It has no doors, only curtains of translucent fabric that lift at your approach. Inside, the air is scented with vanilla, soft wood smoke, and something sweetly unfamiliar. Cushions and woven mats cover the floor, and above, lanterns hang like low-hanging stars, pulsing gently in shades of amethyst and rose. A low table in the center holds a single item, a closed book. Its cover is deep blue and soft to the touch, like worn velvet, and though there is no title, you know without question that it belongs to you. When you open it, there are no words, only images, painted in soft watercolor. Scenes you remember, scenes you don't. A quiet swing in an empty field. A sky full of paper lanterns drifting upward. A hallway filled with mirrors that reflect not faces, but feelings. You turn each page slowly. There is no rush, no expectation. Only a sense of deep, quiet recognition. As you turn the last page, the image is blank, not in emptiness, but in possibility, like a canvas waiting for your next breath to begin painting. You close the book, and when you look up, a figure stands at the edge of the room. They are cloaked in flowing fabric the color of fog, their face hidden by a hood, but there is nothing threatening in their presence. If anything, they feel like an old friend you'd forgotten you had. They extend a hand, not as a command, but as an offering. You take it, and together you step through the curtains, out onto a balcony where wind chimes hang in silence. As you stand there, a new sound rises, not wind, not music, but the quiet chorus of every part of the island gently breathing, like the sound of the universe exhaling. The figure beside you says nothing, and yet you feel understood in a way that transcends words. Their presence wraps around you like a blanket warmed by the sun, like the comfort of a familiar scent you didn't know you missed. You stand together for a long moment, looking out over the drifting island, its soft contours glowing like dream thoughts in a sleeping mind. The sky above is the color of pearl and ink, shifting slowly, like the tide of night washing across the world. The figure releases your hand gently and begins to walk, their footsteps silent against the smooth wood beneath. You follow, not because you must, but because it feels like the next breath in a lullaby. Down spiraling stairs carved from pale stone and through hanging gardens where ivy whispers to itself, you move deeper into the island's heart. You pass a grove where lanterns hang from invisible strings, each one flickering with a memory. They float gently in the still air, casting halos of soft gold and rose. As you walk beneath them, you feel them brush against your thoughts. A scent from childhood, a moment of stillness on a rainy afternoon, the hush of snowfall outside a warmly lit room. You do not need to stop to feel them. They greet you as you pass, leaving a soft echo in your chest like the last note of a song. The figure leads you to a doorway carved into a hill, its frame covered in trailing vines that bloom with tiny glowing flowers. You duck inside and find yourself in a round chamber of stone, smooth and warm to the touch. In the center, a fountain flows with water that sparkles like starlight. It trickles into a shallow pool ringed with cushions, and the sound it makes is gentle, rhythmic, the kind of sound that slows your heartbeat and deepens your breath. The figure gestures to one of the cushions and you sit, the mossy fabric molding perfectly to your shape. They lower themselves beside the fountain and lift a cup made of translucent crystal. They offer it to you. You drink. The liquid is cool and smooth, tasting faintly of lavender and something else, a flavor you can't name but feel deeply, like the hush of a beloved story being told in the soft light of early morning. As it slips down your throat, a warmth spreads through your chest, not sharp but deep, as though a locked door has quietly opened inside you. The figure places a hand over their heart and inclines their head, then rises and vanishes into the mist outside the doorway. You remain, not alone, but in stillness. The fountain song fills the space, and your mind grows quiet in its presence. No thoughts demand attention. No questions rise. Just the feeling of being whole, of being safe, of being held. After a time, minutes, hours, you cannot tell, you rise and step back outside. The sky is darker now, deeper, not threatening but embracing. Stars begin to appear, not with sharp points, but with soft halos, like memories beginning to return. The path before you is new, lined with stones that glow faintly with every step you take. The air smells of dusk and distant oceans. You walk not because there is a destination, but because the island breathes with your motion. Each footfall is a whisper, a heartbeat, a page turning in a story written only for you. And as you move forward, something stirs in your chest, not urgency, not excitement, but a soft readiness, like the space before a dream begins. The path leads you to a grove of tall, willowy trees with silver trunks that gleam like moonlight caught in dew. Their branches stretch high above, weaving into a soft canopy that filters the sky into a mosaic of gently glowing fragments. The air beneath them is hushed, as if even the island itself holds its breath here. Every sound is softened, your footsteps muted, the rustle of leaves a mere sigh. A calm so complete settles over you that your thoughts begin to drift like clouds, thin and slow, dissolving at the edges. In the center of the grove stands a structure unlike anything you've seen, a dome made of woven reeds, translucent and shimmering, as if it were made from strands of memory. Light pulses from within, slow and steady, like a sleeping heartbeat. You approach, and the wall of the dome parts silently, allowing you to step inside. Within, the space is round and womb-like, filled with soft cushions and low bowls that emit gentle light. The floor is covered in petals, not fallen, but laid with intention, a mosaic of colors that shift subtly as you move. You sit, and the cushions conform to you instantly, like they've been waiting. In front of you, a bowl begins to hum. Not loud, never loud, but in a tone so rich it vibrates gently in your bones. The sound fills you, not just your ears, but the spaces in between thoughts. It does not ask for anything. It simply is, and that is enough. As you sit there, breathing in time with the island, the petals around you begin to shimmer more brightly. One lifts from the ground, suspended in the air by some unseen breath. It drifts toward you and lands softly on your palm. Its surface is warm, smooth, and glowing with pale gold light. As you watch, an image blooms upon it. A memory, perhaps yours, perhaps the island's. A swing beneath a willow tree, a hand held in silent understanding, the moment just before a smile. More petals begin to rise, each carrying a scene, a feeling, a fragment. They circle slowly around you, a quiet orbit of calm. You close your eyes, and for a moment, they seem to whisper not words, but emotions, comfort, rest, safety, belonging. Each pulse of light from the bowls around you deepens that feeling, as though the island is not a place, but a presence holding you gently in its arms. You lie back among the cushions. The dome pulses once, then again, slower this time. A blanket of warmth spreads across you, not from outside, but from within. It is the warmth of being exactly where you are meant to be, of not needing to move or change or do. You feel your body sink deeper, as though you are becoming part of the island. Its moss, its water, its wind, and in doing so, it becomes part of you. Far above, beyond the dome, the stars continue their slow, drifting dance. They are not distant here. They are near, like lanterns hung just out of reach, ready to be pulled gently into your dreams. One by one, the petals return to the floor, fading into the mosaic. The hum lowers, then settles like a sigh released. You are not asleep. Not yet, but you're close. Close enough that the waking world has already loosened its grip, and the dream waits just beyond a veil as thin as a breath. When you awaken, if it can be called waking, the dome has faded. Not disappeared, just gently dissolved into the landscape, like mist returning to the sea. You find yourself lying on a bed of moss beneath a sky still softly glowing with early stars. The air is cool and sweet, scented with something like night-blooming jasmine and the hush of new snow. You rise slowly, your limbs light and unburdened, as though sleep itself had passed through your body and taken every worry with it. A path unfolds before you, not carved but grown, a winding trail of flowers whose petals open as you step near. Their colors are soft, impossible, pale blue laced with silver, coral blushed with gold, shades that shimmer with emotion more than hue. As you walk, they release a gentle luminescence, lighting your way without glare. Overhead, clouds drift lazily, their bellies glowing with inner light like lanterns on a slow journey. The trail leads you to a hill where the wind sings. Truly sings, not whistling or gusting, but weaving long, warm notes that wrap around you like a melody remembered from childhood. At the hill's peak is a wooden swing hanging from a tree older than time. The tree's bark glows with a faint silver sheen, and its leaves are long and narrow, whispering gently even without breeze. You sit on the swing and let your feet dangle. The wood is smooth, worn by countless dreamers before you, and the rope hums softly with your weight. As you sway, the hill below shifts in color, gold to soft plum to a blue so deep it feels like velvet. You feel yourself rocking not just in body, but in thought, in breath, in spirit. Every motion is a lullaby, every creak of the rope a page turned in the book of rest. In the distance, bells begin to chime. soft, distant, irregular, not calling you, but marking something. Moments, perhaps, or heartbeats, or memories just on the edge of surfacing. You let the sound wash over you, blending into the music of the wind, the hush of the grass, the low, slow song of the island itself. It is not a tune, not exactly. It is the sound of being held. When you eventually step down from the swing, your feet touch ground that feels like it has been warmed by starlight. The path continues, winding down the other side of the hill, through low shrubs that glow softly with their own inner light. Crickets begin to sing, slow and rhythmic, like nature's own heartbeat keeping time with your breath. Soon, you come upon a clearing filled with floating lanterns. Not tethered to anything, they hover just above the ground, moving as though guided by dreams. Each one holds a tiny flame, steady and unblinking, and as you approach, they shift to make space for you. One floats directly in front of you and pauses. Inside the flame, you see something small, a memory you had not remembered losing. A moment when someone held your hand without needing to speak. A breeze on your face when you most needed it. A kindness so quiet it never needed recognition. The lantern drifts upward, joining the others, and the clearing seems to glow with a deeper warmth. The air thickens, just slightly, with the presence of every quiet grace you've ever known but never paused to name. You sit among them, cross-legged on the soft earth, letting the light brush your skin like falling feathers. And for a long while, you stay like that, still, breathing, glowing quietly with everything you didn't know you had been carrying and everything you've now gently let go. Eventually, the lanterns begin to drift higher, one by one, their flames steady and calm, rising like quiet thoughts returning to the stars. You stand, watching them go, feeling no loss, only a sense of completeness, like pages gently returned to a book. The path before you reappears, unfolding itself from the clearing's edge, its borders marked by low plants whose leaves glisten with dew, even though no morning has come. The ground beneath your feet feels different now, springy, like walking on soft moss layered over memory. With each step, you sink slightly, only to be lifted again, like walking through a dream that remembers you. As you continue, the trees begin to grow stranger. Taller, more delicate, with bark that shimmers in changing colors and branches that arc gracefully like the arms of dancers frozen mid-movement. From them hang threads of light that sway in silence, brushing your shoulders as you pass. Ahead, a bridge appears, narrow and elegant, suspended by nothing you can see. It stretches across a canyon of mist, where clouds swirl slowly in silence, speckled with soft sparks of violet and amber. You place one foot on the bridge and feel it yield slightly, then steady beneath you. There is no fear here, no doubt, only the rhythm of your breath and the way the mist below seems to hum softly in time with your heartbeat. Midway across the bridge, you pause. The mist beneath you clears just enough to reveal shapes moving slowly, great whales of cloud, swimming through the air in slow, majestic arcs. Their presence calms you further, as if they carry the weight of forgotten dreams on their backs, turning endlessly through time without worry or destination. One of them looks up, or seems to, and you feel a quiet recognition, like seeing something you once imagined as a child and suddenly remembering it was real. The bridge carries you onward until you step into a garden unlike any other. It is vast and circular, with paths that spiral outward from a central fountain shaped like a sleeping bird. The water flows gently from its beak, pooling into basins shaped like open hands. Around the fountain, beds of flowers bloom in impossible colors, shades that shift as you breathe, each one singing a note too soft to hear, but strong enough to feel. You walk the spiral slowly, letting your fingers brush the petals, each one leaving a trace of something lovely behind. A memory, a feeling, a thought you hadn't noticed you missed. A flower shaped like a curled shell brings the sound of ocean waves. Another, wide and flat like a lily pad, smells of childhood mornings. A vine winding along the path whispers your name, not aloud, but in the way the wind sometimes seems to speak to trees. At the center of the spiral, where the paths all meet, there is a chair carved from pale wood. It looks ordinary, but as you lower yourself into it, it feels like being embraced by the arms of someone who has known you forever. The world tilts gently. The sky darkens by one shade. The scent of lavender and rain deepens. And you realize, without thought or effort, that this moment is not one to move through. It is one to rest in. The island holds still around you. Even the wind quiets, as if nature itself has leaned in close to listen to your breath. You feel no need to speak, to rise, to continue. You are exactly where you need to be. You sit there for a long while, though time does not pass the way it once did. There are no minutes or hours here, only the gentle deepening of quiet. The chair cradles you in stillness, and the island does not ask for anything more. Around you, the garden hums faintly, not in song but in presence, a living stillness that wraps itself around your shoulders like the softest shawl. Above, the stars have multiplied. They move now, drifting in slow arcs across the sky, not fixed like the ones you've known. These stars wander. They meander. And every so often, one dips low and leaves a shimmer of light across the clouds before returning to the sky's embrace. It is impossible to watch them and not feel your breath slow, your thoughts spread wide like wings in calm air. When you rise, it is not because you must, but because the air shifts. Not with urgency, but with invitation. The garden sighs around you as you take your first step, petals folding slightly as if in blessing. The path now leads you along a gentle slope, where soft lights dance in the grass and follow your footsteps like curious fireflies. You come to a pond wide, still, perfectly round, its surface like liquid glass reflecting a sky you can no longer see. As you approach, you realize the reflection is not of this place at all, but of moments in your own life. Not dramatic ones, not loud. Simple things. A cup of tea held in two hands. A window open on a spring afternoon. Laughter shared between glances. You kneel, and the images ripple slightly, not fading, only softening, as if to remind you they are never truly gone. A boat waits at the edge of the pond. It is small, made of something pale and polished, light as moonbeam but strong as oak. You step inside, and it begins to move with no guide, only the momentum of your calm. The boat glides smoothly across the pond, each ripple spreading outward like a breath held and released. Above you, soft lights drift down, tiny glowing threads that brush your cheeks and vanish like wishes fulfilled. At the center of the pond, the water grows clear and deep. You look over the edge and see not your reflection, but your resting self, not how you look, but how you feel when you are most at peace. You see your shoulders relaxed, your breath even, your thoughts as soft as the petals you passed earlier. It is a version of you that still exists, has always existed, beneath the noise and motion. the sight of it does not startle you. It welcomes you home. The boat slows and turns on its own, making a gentle arc back toward the shore. As it glides, you feel something shift within, not a change, but a remembering, a return, a softness waking up inside your chest. And when the boat touches the mossy shore once more, you step out lighter than before, as if the water had rinsed not your skin, but your spirit. Before you lies a bridge of stepping stones, each one glowing with a light that pulses like a heartbeat. You follow them across a stream so clear it reflects only starlight, and when you reach the other side, the air seems thicker with quiet, as if the very world has settled into rest. You feel your body slow again, your breath deepen. The island knows you are nearing sleep. You find yourself at the edge of a grove filled with low, glowing stones arranged in gentle spirals. Between them grow tufts of soft grass and tiny white flowers that bloom only in silence. The light from the stones flickers slowly, each pulse like a sigh, in, out, in again, guiding your breath without instruction. You step into the pattern and walk slowly, spiraling inward, your feet brushing against cool moss that cushions every step. With each turn of the spiral, something loosens in you. Thoughts that once clung now drift like mist, their shapes softening, their edges fading. By the time you reach the center, you've forgotten what was once heavy. In its place is a wide, quiet space, open and warm, as if the island has made a home inside your chest. A tree rises at the spiral's heart, tall and luminous, its bark glowing faintly with threads of silver. Nestled into its base is a hammock, woven from moonlight and wind. It sways gently, though no breeze moves it. Without hesitation, you lie down, and the moment your body meets its softness, every muscle lets go. The fabric cradles you perfectly, holding your shape like memory, like promise. Above you, the canopy opens to a sky that now spins with color soft lavender and dusky rose, pale teal melting into twilight gold. The stars no longer seem far away. They hover gently just beyond the reach of your fingers, watching you with kind, patient eyes. A soft wind begins to hum through the branches, not as music, but as comfort, the sound of someone sitting quietly beside you, offering nothing but presence. As you swing, the island shifts its rhythm to match yours. Lights in the trees dim, petals fold. Even the glow of the stones in the spiral begins to slow, like a heartbeat descending into rest. You feel it in your bones. The island is preparing you, not for departure, but for surrender. Not an ending, but an opening into something softer than sleep. Your eyes begin to grow heavier, but there is no rush. Time moves like honey here, slow and golden, and your body is already becoming part of the rhythm. The tree above you seems to lean slightly inward, and the hammock wraps around you just a little more, like an embrace from something ancient and loving. The last thing you see before your eyes close are fireflies, tiny pinpricks of light dancing just above the grass. They move like laughter, like breath, like the first moments of a dream. And as your eyes slip shut, you hear them whisper, not in words, but in feeling, you are safe. You are whole. You are home. Sleep does not arrive all at once, but gently, like mist rolling in from a quiet sea. You drift within the hammock, its soft weave swaying with the hush of the wind, as if rocking you deeper into a space that lies beyond dreaming. Your breath is slow, your body warm, your mind a sky without weather, open, endless, still. The island shifts around you, though you do not move. Trees grow quieter, their leaves folding inward. Lanterns flicker once more and then go out, like stars dimming at the end of a night made only of peace. Somewhere in the distance, the sound of water lapping against stone echoes, soft and slow, like a lullaby too old to remember, but too familiar to forget. You feel yourself floating again, not in body, but in presence. The hammock becomes air, then cloud, then light. You are no longer lying on anything, yet you are held. You are no longer thinking, yet you are known. The island does not fade, you do not leave it, but rather, you dissolve into it. Your breath becomes part of its wind. Your pulse becomes the rhythm of its glowing heart. Around you, dream forms begin to appear, not sharp, not vivid, but soft and slow, like memories in reverse. A field of golden light, stretching into a violet sky. A house with windows lit from within. A bird-shaped boat floating through clouds. These are not scenes you watch, but spaces you enter, your presence as gentle as the mist that cradled your arrival. One dream blends into another, each flowing like water into the next. You pass through a corridor of tall reeds that whisper kind secrets. You float above an orchard where trees hum lullabies in low harmony. You rest inside a pearl that glows from within, rocking in the tide of a sky-colored sea. There is no fear here, no noise, no questions, only the soft rhythm of letting go. You do not need to remember who you were before or where you are going next. You are exactly what you need to be, resting, drifting, wrapped in a world designed not to teach, not to challenge, but to soothe. At one point, though time no longer follows its old paths, you find yourself in a space with no ground, no sky, just warmth and sound. A soft vibration, like a heartbeat, like the echo of your own breath magnified and gentled into music. It surrounds you, through you, within you. It says, without words, yes, this is rest. This is what it feels like to be held without weight, to be known without shape. You float there for a long while, or perhaps no time at all, the way one floats in the deepest sleep, beyond dreams, beyond even the need to dream. Everything here is softened. Even your thoughts have curled up like sleeping cats, warm and content. You have nothing left to do. And just as the final threads of awareness begin to loosen, you feel it, the faint, steady pulse of the island, now beating inside you. It has given you something. Not a message, not a memory, but a rhythm. A way to return, not by path, not by boat, but simply by resting, by breathing, by letting yourself drift when the world becomes too sharp. The island will always be there, floating gently between the worlds. It doesn't need to be seen. It doesn't need to be remembered. It is felt in stillness, in softness, in sleep. There is no transition, no doorway between dream and sleep, only a soft unfolding, like petals opening in the dark. You are deeper now, adrift in the space where time cannot reach you. There is no need for story, no need for shape. Yet still, the island cradles you, sending gentle waves of comfort that roll across your resting form like the tide of breath itself. You lie beneath stars that do not shine but glow with steady warmth. They do not twinkle, they do not burn. They pulse like distant lullabies, each one a breath, each one a heartbeat. They are not far away. They are within you, blinking softly behind your closed eyes, woven into the fabric of your rest. All around, the world slows to match your stillness. The grasses still sway, but more slowly now. The pond still glimmers, but only faintly, like a lantern seen through fog. Even the flowers fold their petals and lean inward, bowing toward the center of quiet that now radiates from where you lie. The air is cool, the way twilight is cool, not empty, but filled with invisible softness. You breathe it in, and with every breath, your body sinks deeper. Not downward, but inward, into the center of yourself. Into the place where nothing is needed, and everything is allowed to be still. A sound rises in the distance, faint, rhythmic, more felt than heard. It is not music, but it carries the same comfort. It might be the tide. It might be the heartbeat of the island. It might be the echo of your own pulse, now slowed to the rhythm of rest. Whatever it is, it moves through you like calm made audible. Somewhere nearby, a curtain of light begins to drift downward, as if the sky itself were exhaling a sigh. It falls gently in shimmering threads that catch on the tips of grass and the edges of trees. When it touches your skin, it brings no sensation, only the memory of softness, the feeling of warm sheets, of kind hands, of summer rain tapping lightly on windows while you sleep. You do not open your eyes. You do not need to. The island is no longer something you see. It is something you are. It is in the rhythm of your breath, in the weightlessness of your limbs, in the hush that now wraps around every thought. You are not on the island. You are part of it. And even as the sky darkens to its deepest hues, even as every lantern dims and every flower rests, there remains one light, soft, pale, steady, glowing gently just behind your chest. It is not bright. It does not flicker. It hums like a whisper, like a lullaby, like a promise. You are safe. You are home. You are whole. You are so deep now that even dreams have grown still. Their colors soften, their movement slows, until they become simple presence, not images, but sensations. The feeling of warm sun filtered through leaves. The heaviness of a blanket pulled gently to your chin. The quiet trust of knowing nothing is required of you. Somewhere far off, the sound of a bell drifts through the air. Not a sharp ring, but a low, distant chime, like a memory of sound carried by wind. It echoes softly once, then fades, and the silence it leaves behind is even more peaceful than before. You feel that sound settle inside your chest like a feather coming to rest. It belongs there. It always has. The ground beneath you seems to breathe now, not rising or falling, but expanding gently with each inhale, drawing you closer, keeping you wrapped in its rhythm. The grass beneath your body has become impossibly soft, no longer grass, but something between moss and silk, and you let yourself melt into it fully. You are no longer held by the world. You are part of what holds. Above you, clouds drift in slow spirals, their undersides glowing with pale lavender and silver. They move as if time itself has relaxed, given up its ticking for a slow, rolling sigh. The stars above them do not watch you, but join you. Scattered fragments of softness, echoing the light already within you. You are not beneath the sky. You are part of its stillness. A breeze moves through, warm and slow, carrying with it the scent of things that only exist in rest, paper that's never been written on, a bed just made, a room waiting to welcome you home. It brushes across your skin, and you feel your body respond with deeper quiet, deeper letting go. Your fingers twitch once, then go still. Your thoughts drift like leaves on a slow river. You are not drifting toward anything. You are simply drifting. The island hums around you, low and gentle, like a story told not aloud but through sensation. The ground, the trees, the very air seem to sing in harmony with your pulse. It is a song without words, a song that does not rise or fall, only remains constant, kind, cradling you in its sound. In the corners of your awareness, shapes begin to soften. The trees grow distant. The flowers curl into themselves. The pond becomes a shimmer behind your closed eyes. Not lost, simply no longer needed. The island is not leaving you, nor are you leaving it. You are becoming more like it, still, open, quiet. And just as your last waking thought begins to dissolve, a thought without shape, only the echo of contentment, something wraps around you. Not arms, not fabric. A warmth, a hush, a feeling of being wrapped in a story that no longer needs telling. You rest there, in that place between breath and dream, and the island rests with you. There is no edge to the sleep, no beginning or end. Only the gentle expansion of quiet, the way mist blooms across a still lake. You are suspended within it, not held or bound, but simply resting in the arms of something vast and loving. The island breathes around you, and with every exhale, you dissolve a little more into peace. The grass beneath you has forgotten it was ever grass. It is warmth now and comfort, and the memory of something soft your body understands without needing to name. The air no longer carries scent or breeze, it simply is. A presence as soothing as silence, as kind as the space between thoughts. Above you, the stars blink slower and fewer now. Not because they are fading, but because your need for them has. They have done their part, watching gently as your breath deepened, as your limbs loosened, as the edges of you blurred and softened into dream. Now they settle into the background of your rest, like gentle sentinels who know when to step back. Even the hum of the island has quieted, not gone, but low and slow, like the purring of a creature long asleep, still comforted by your presence. It no longer reaches for you. It simply accompanies you, like a companion who has sat beside you for a lifetime, asking for nothing, giving only calm. You lie there, somewhere between moments, outside the reach of clocks or days. You are not sleeping in the way the world sleeps, but in a way older and softer, a sleep that holds no weight, only drift. And in this drift, you are not empty. You are full of stillness, of warmth, of that lovely slowness that lives only in the deepest hours of the night. A voice. Not sound, but feeling passes through you. It carries no message, no language. Only the sensation of a hand on your shoulder, the warmth of someone sitting near, the unspoken understanding that you are safe, that you are allowed this rest, that everything else can wait. And so you rest, not as something you do, but as something you become. The moss, the stars, the glowing stones, all of them part of you now. All of them quiet and still and endlessly soft. The hammock is gone, or perhaps you have become it. The trees have dimmed, or maybe they have fallen asleep as well. There is no movement now, but there is no stillness either. There is only being. And in this being, you are perfect. Not in a way that demands anything of you, but in a way that requires nothing. You are enough as you are in this breath, in this stillness, in this sleep. The island cradles what remains of your awareness. Not as a fragile thing, but as something precious, glowing, eternal. A flicker of softness wrapped in velvet night. A flame that does not burn but warms. A dream that no longer needs to be dreamed. And as you drift even deeper, the last sensation is not a sound, not a word, but a feeling. You are loved. You are home. Far below the waking world, deeper than thought, deeper even than dream, there is a silence so soft it becomes music. It doesn't rise or fall. It simply is. Like moonlight on still water, like warmth left behind by the sun after it sets. This is where you are now, resting within that silence, wrapped in layers of peace so gentle they barely touch, yet they hold you completely. Nothing moves here, and yet everything breathes. The ground beneath you, the air around you, even the darkness that sways behind your closed eyes, all of it breathes in time with your rest. There is no effort, no will, only harmony. You are not separate from this rhythm. You are part of it. You are the hush between heartbeats, the stillness between stars. Even time has paused, if it ever existed here at all. Moments do not pass. They drift. They float like petals on a current, circling slowly, glowing faintly. You are inside one now, a single, endless moment of being. No memories reach for you. No thoughts pull at your sleeves. All that remains is the gentle weightlessness of letting go. And in this deep quiet, you begin to feel it. The presence of something vast and kind. Not watching you, not guarding, but simply being beside you. A presence that has always been here, on the edge of sleep, in the corners of stillness. You never needed to call it. It was already waiting. It is the island itself. And now it is close. It doesn't speak. It doesn't need to. Its presence alone is a kind of language. A warm hand on your back, a breath that matches yours. The shared understanding between two beings who do not need to be anything else. It surrounds you now, soft and vast, the way the sea surrounds a shell at the bottom of the ocean. Not crushing, not pressing, just there, holding you in perfect equilibrium. And within that embrace, something opens. Not a door, not a vision, just a widening, like your heart sighing. You feel it without needing to define it. This is what it means to be truly at rest. Not hidden, not escaped, but simply let be. In this place, you are not your name, not your body, not even your story. You are the quiet between lines in a poem, the warmth behind a smile, the echo of a kind voice. You are peace, shaped like sleep. You drift further still, past the last layer of thought. You are surrounded now only by softness, of air, of memory, of possibility. If anything remains to be dreamed, it will come gently, like mist through an open window. And if nothing comes, that is perfect too. For this is not a place of needing. This is a place of simply being. And as you slip even deeper into that space, the last sensation that reaches you is not sound or image or touch, but an awareness, like the curve of the earth beneath your feet, always present, always holding you. You are not alone. There is no beginning to this part of the dream, only a continuation soft and seamless, like the way one breath becomes the next without needing to be named. You have drifted so far into stillness that even your thoughts have taken on the texture of mist. They rise and fall in your mind like slow waves that never break, content to simply move. The island, too, has become quieter, not fading, not absent, but fully at rest. The trees do not sway, yet their presence is felt like a soft weight pressing against your back. The stars do not shine as before, yet their light lingers in the folds of the sky. All around you, the world hums with the sound of nothing needing to be done. You are lying on your side now, though you don't recall turning. One hand rests gently beneath your cheek, the other open against the mossy warmth of the earth. Your body feels light and distant, like it has become a cloud. Formless, but full. There is no boundary between you and the ground, between you and the sky. You are not lying upon the island. You are lying within it. And in this perfect stillness, something begins to glow, not outside you, but inside. A soft pulse, like a lantern lit deep within your chest. It flickers once, then steadies, its warmth spreading outward in gentle spirals. It carries no message, no memory, only presence. It is your center, your quiet heart, the part of you that never forgot how to rest. The wind that moves through this space does not ruffle hair or stir leaves. It brushes across your mind, clearing the last dust of waking. It tells you, without words, that you are allowed to let go, that you are allowed to stay, that you do not have to return until you are ready, and even then, the island will come with you, tucked like a lullaby into your breath. Somewhere far away, a light rings once more, not a bell, not quite. Just a soft resonance, like the final chord of a song held a moment longer before silence returns. You do not turn your head toward it. You do not open your eyes. You simply feel it, echoing gently through your spine, like the trace of kindness long after it's been given. You are not watching. You are not listening. You are simply being softer now, quieter still. The spaces between your thoughts have become whole landscapes. The pauses between breaths stretch like oceans of peace. And in the middle of it all, you remain, not as a character, not as a body, but as a presence of calm. Your name is no longer needed. Your stories are not required here. All that remains is a softness that goes on forever, wrapping itself around you like dusk settling into the folds of night. You are not dreaming anymore. You are dreaming of rest. And it welcomes you deeper still. Somewhere beneath the waves of sleep, even dreaming begins to slow. The stories your mind once whispered drift into silence, not lost, but gently folded away like soft linen after a long day. You are past the threshold of thoughts now, floating in that liminal space where all you are is breath and warmth and stillness. The island has followed you here, not as a place, but as a feeling, a presence woven into your rest. You no longer see trees or paths or stars, but you feel them. Like distant warmth brushing against your skin, like the soft echo of a memory returning without sound. They are part of you now, or perhaps you were always part of them. You rest in a space without walls or ground. It is not empty, it is full of softness, of hush, of the quiet hum of existence without motion. Every breath you take unfurls like smoke into the space, and the space exhales back into you. You are not a visitor here. You are home. If there are dreams still blooming, they are no longer stories. They are sensations, the feel of velvet night, the weightlessness of clouds, the kindness of something unseen sitting beside you. Shapes rise and fall like the tide, but you do not reach for them. They move around you like wind around a still flame, careful not to disturb your glow. There are no questions in this place. No wondering, no waiting, no becoming. Only being. Only resting. Only the infinite stretch of a moment that will never need to end. And in that moment, you are met by something soft. A presence, a light, a warmth that leans in close, not to wake you, not to pull you from your depth, but to simply share the stillness with you. It has no shape, no name. It may be the island. It may be your own self, returned to you at last in perfect peace. It does not speak. It does not need to. Its presence says, you are safe here. You are seen here. You are enough here. And with that knowing, you drift even deeper into a space so quiet it feels like velvet. So vast it feels like a sea without shores. So kind it feels like a blanket wrapped around the softest part of who you are. You sleep, not because the day has ended, not because the night has come, but because the island has become a part of you, and you, in turn, have become part of its dream. And so you continue to drift. Still, gentle, whole. Time has lost its shape. If there were minutes or hours here, they've melted like snowflakes resting on your palm, noticed only for a moment before they become part of your stillness. The air around you holds no temperature, only comfort. There is no change, no urgency, no turning of anything. Just breath and breath again, and the deep quiet of a body that has surrendered to rest. You are so still now that even your dreams do not move. They hover, weightless and translucent, around the edges of your awareness. Sometimes they drift close, a memory of sunlight through curtains, the scent of pages in an old book, the distant warmth of laughter shared long ago, and then they fade, leaving only a trace of peace behind. You lie in a place where the world has folded in on itself, not collapsing, but curling up like a cat beside you. There are no edges here. You could float in any direction and never reach a wall, a shore, a border. The island has become this endless softness, and you are its heart. Your breath rises and falls without effort, each inhale a thread, each exhale a lullaby. You are not holding on to anything. Even the idea of holding has drifted away. Your muscles have loosened entirely, your bones have grown light, and your thoughts, if they still exist, are feathers spinning slowly in the space behind your eyes. All that remains is presence. Pure, undemanding presence. You do not need to sleep. You do not need to wake. You are simply here. And here is a place made entirely of yes. And then, faintly, you begin to sense it again, the island's pulse. Not around you, but within. It is your own now, your inner tide. A soft, slow rhythm that echoes in your chest, in your fingertips, in the space behind your ribs. It's not asking you to rise. It's not telling you to move. It's simply reminding you you're safe. The world beyond this moment may still exist, with its clocks and needs and shapes, but none of it touches you here. Here, the only shape is stillness. The only sound is calm. The only need is already met. Somewhere in the deepest layers of your rest, you smile. Not with your mouth, with your whole being. A smile made of breath and peace and the sense of being known without needing to explain. A smile that says, I remember this. I remember what it feels like to be this soft. And with that smile, you drift further still into the slow ocean of nothingness that holds everything you've ever needed. Without ever asking you to lift a finger. There is a level of rest deeper than sleep, deeper even than dreams, and you are resting there now. It has no name, no sound, no light. It is a vast velvet field inside your being, where all the stories stop and all the gentle things wait. You do not travel here. You do not arrive. You simply fall, slowly and endlessly, into the softest version of yourself. You are a breath, a rhythm, a ripple across still water. You are not moving, but everything within you is aligned. Your heartbeat matching the soft pulse of the island, your breath syncing with the invisible breeze that never stirs the trees, but carries peace just the same. There is nothing left to release, because everything has already let go. Even the memory of the island, its lanterns, its stones, its luminous trees, has become part of your internal sky. You no longer need to remember its details. You carry them now in the hush behind your thoughts, in the stillness between each gentle breath. They're a texture in your rest, a soft thread woven into the dream space where you now drift. No voices reach you here, not even your own. There is no narration, no sound at all, and yet there is no loneliness. The quiet is full. It holds you like warm hands cupped around a flame. Not to protect it from going out, but simply to honor its glow. You are wrapped in a darkness that isn't absence, but presence. Not the dark of loss, but of completion. Like the soft closing of a book after the last word has been spoken. You feel it around you, soft as down, thick as sleep, gentle as love with nowhere to go but here. There is a rhythm to this place. You do not need to find it. You're it. It carries you, breath by breath, deeper and deeper into the center of rest. You are not seeking dreams. You are not building thoughts. You are simply allowing everything. If this is a room, it has no walls. If this is a sea, it has no shore. It is vast and kind, and you are suspended in its center like a petal floating on still air. Nothing will change unless you wish it to. And even then, the change will come gently, like dawn breaking without needing to rise. The island holds you, not in place, but in peace. Its presence is no longer around you, it is you. And you're it. You're moss. You are breath. You're starlight. You're silence. You're everything that rests. And from this quiet center, from this endless hush, you drift further still, not to escape, not to forget, but to stay, to remain, to be. The quiet you rest in now is not simply the absence of sound. It is a living silence, filled with warmth and intention. It moves slowly through you like golden mist, gently filling every space where tension once lingered, every pocket of thought, every corner of your being. It settles in the curve of your shoulders, the hollow of your palms, the soft cradle of your breath. You are not thinking anymore. You are being in the purest, kindest way. This moment stretches infinitely, not because it is long, but because it is complete. There is no beginning here, no end, no doorway to pass through. Only this, your body softened into rest, your heart open like a window in spring, your mind floating like a lantern whose flame has learned to flicker more slowly. If there are still dreams, they are no longer images. They are feelings, deep, round, endless feelings. Of safety, of home, of warmth that does not need to be earned or held onto. You feel them pass through like waves that ask nothing, offer everything, and leave you softer each time. The island has stopped moving. Or perhaps you are so still now that you have become its center. You do not see paths or petals anymore, but you sense them. Like a hum beneath your breath, like memory etched into the bones of the earth. You know they are there, and they know you are here. This place inside you, where the island lives now, is a temple made entirely of softness. A resting place shaped not by walls, but by the slow rhythm of sleep. And in this temple, there are no rules. There is only permission to pause, to stay, to let go again and again, until even the act of letting go becomes unnecessary. The pulse of the island, your pulse, continues gently. It does not call you forward. It does not pull you back. It simply reminds you are safe. You are whole. You are enough. And in this moment, that truth is not something to believe. It is something you feel, as real and quiet and solid as the weight of your own breath. There is nothing more to do, nothing more to become. You have already arrived. You are already held. You are already home. And so you sleep, not because you are tired, but because your spirit has been given the room to rest, at last, without question, without effort, without end. Sleep now is no longer a passage or a place. It is your shape, your breath, your very being. You are not traveling through it, you are it, folded in on yourself like the petals of a flower that only blooms in darkness. You do not dream. You are the dream. The soft weight of it, the slow unfolding, the complete stillness that holds everything and asks for nothing. Even the hum of the island has faded into your body. It does not surround you. It radiates from within, pulsing gently in the spaces behind your ribs, in the deep quiet of your mind, in the still warmth of your chest. You are moss and wind and starlight. You are root and breath and sky. There are no more paths to follow, no more lanterns to light. Every door has opened. Every petal has fallen. And you are resting in the heart of it all. A place beyond language, beyond need, beyond motion. A place that is not somewhere to go, but something to become. And you have become it. Soft, whole, resting. If a breeze still moves, it does so with reverence, circling you like a lullaby that no longer needs to be sung. If time still exists, it is curled asleep beside you, its ticking quieted to a heartbeat slow enough to match your own. If the stars still shine, they do so with eyes half closed, their light more suggestion than flame. The island does not end, but it no longer needs to be seen. It is part of you now, as familiar and silent as your breath. You carry it with you, not as a memory, but as a rhythm. A hush that will stay tucked beneath your thoughts, ready to rise whenever you pause, whenever you breathe, whenever you need a place to return to, even with your eyes open. And if one day you wake and feel a whisper in the wind, or see a shimmer across water that shouldn't be there, or hear a note of music in the quiet that no one else notices, you'll know. The island is near. It always was. It always will be. And in that knowing, you can let yourself rest. Now. Completely. Effortlessly. Endlessly. You are safe. You are loved. You are home.